This is your SoCal fishing forecast for Thursday, November 19th. This week's episode is brought to you by SwordfishGear.com, your #1 source for deep drop swordfish tackle, including hooks, leaders, lights, and custom swordfish rods, featuring Winthrop, adjustable butts, and roller tips. All orders over $50 include free shipping, so stop by SwordfishGear.com today. Alright, quick look at the weather here. Looks like we're going to have pretty consistent weather throughout the week. Mid-60s, a little warmer on Sunday, but nothing crazy going on, which is pretty nice. Quick look at the wind. We'll give you the broad view first. And you got this storm that's working out here on the west side, and it's going to be driving a west wind swell towards the coast. It looks like this is going to fade out a little bit quicker than originally forecasted, which is going to help us out as far as it comes to that wind swell. But it was kind of hanging out here, and it's going to fizzle out, which is good for us. So that being said, let's get a closer look at our local wind forecast here. Thursday, light winds. And it's pretty much going to be the trend for the next 4 or 5 days. Light winds on the outside, almost no wind on the inside, or less than 10 knots for the most part. Out on the tuna grounds, 10 knots. And, this is a nice fall pattern we got here. So much to look forward to with that. So pretty much nothing new. Later in the week we get a little bit more wind on the outside into Monday. So if you got a chance to head out to the tuna grounds, now would be the time. All right, let's take a look at our water temps. Just when we thought things were going to start fading away, they're hanging on. We got some warm 70-degree water way down here, but for the most part, things are hanging on. Now, currently, the tuna bite out here on the Tanner, it's still happening. These fish have moved a little bit more east towards the 381, and they're still in that deep water, but as these conditions cool off, this temp is going to start sliding more to the east, and these fish are going to move with it. So you're going to see a little bit more of that's happening. These fish are going to move around as the week goes on. They're still biting on the night drop, and also during the day. Nighttime, if you're fishing flat falls or knife jigs or sinker rig, you should be fishing nothing less than 100-pound tests. They can't see it in the dark anyway. So you might as well use the thickest line you got to take care of those fish. Otherwise, expect mass casualties and missed opportunities. During the day, for those smaller grade fish that are still up on the bank proper, you can get away with 40-pound, 50-pound, that's fine. But these bigger fish, man, you should be fishing with 100-pound or heavier, no matter what. Doesn't matter, day or night, 100-pound for sure, minimum. And if possible, make sure you have a 2-speed reel. I mean, sure, can you get away with 80-pound? Maybe, depends on the fish. But you got fish out there that are 100 to 200 pounds, and you got random 400-pounders that are swimming around. So these fish are getting pretty serious in size now, and you don't know what you're going to hook. So keep that in mind. Let's talk about Catalina. Catalina has still been hanging in there with this bite, and it has been pretty much unaffected by the wind for the most part. And there's still bonito everywhere on the island. This week there has been some squid that have been moving in to those areas that are known to hold squid in the winter months. Silver Canyon, Salta Verde area here on the backside. There's no squid boats at Catalina, so if you're going to want those squid to make bait, make sure you come early and and put some in your tank. There has been a spotted bluefin that's popped up over here northwest of the Farnsworth this week. They were the smaller grade 30, 40 pounders. They're cued in on some sardines. They're hard to chase down, super finicky, but they are there, and one was caught to a very patient angler. So if you're looking to take a look for these, I would bring definitely a jig that you can cast a good distance. That would be your best bet. There's still yellows at the island, although they are far and few in between. If you pick up some of these squid, that might be a good way to tie them in or entice them, other than trolling around mackerel. So keep that in your mind. Talk about San Clemente Island. There's been some action at the island today. It's been a little bit busy, but there is yellows on the front side. They have been biting as long as there's current. If there's no current, they ain't gonna bite. Same story as the islands always go. They are there though. Let's talk about some coastal fishing. This late fall, wintertime yellowtail action has shown back up in La Jolla like clockwork, and you can find these fish anywhere from the northwest corner all the way down to the Whistler Buoy, and 90 to 180 feet of water. And they're going to be in the lower portion of the water column. So if you find these fish on sonar, small chance you're going to see them on top. But if you happen to catch them on sonar, you want to fish them with a yo-yo or a dropper loop. Those would be the best ways to target those fish. Let's talk about down south in the warmer water. There's been some fish around still, and on the kelp patties. Pretty much the typical area. I'm going to draw a big circle here, and not that that's going to help you, but sporadic patties, guys. You're going to have to look for those temp breaks, and you're going to have either a lot of strikeouts on patties or one good jackpot, and that seems to be the story from what I've been hearing. Basically, you'll check 30 patties for nothing, and then one is loaded with small yellowtail, and then that turns into yellowfin, and you have an all-out day done in like an hour. So just kind of depends on the day and the kelp that you run across. But it seems to be the pattern for now. Coronado Islands, water is still really green. Nothing is happening there. So for the guys that are thinking about checking out that area, hasn't been happening. But, you always got next year. So, as far as fishing goes, otherwise, I did a little sword fishing over the weekend. We did come across some fish that were not swordfish in the area of the 302. It looked like bonita, but we didn't hook them. We weren't fishing for those. So no luck on the swordfish. Did bag a mako that made some nice mako steaks. Pretty tasty. But that was it for us. But here's a quick look at our nautical forecast. Inner waters. This forecast has come down a lot in the last 3 days. It was seeing a west swell 4 to 6 feet, and now we're talking only 2 to 3 feet. And that's probably going to be in this 11 or 12 second period. So nothing to be really concerned about. And again, all wind 10 knots or less, which is going to be making for a really nice day. Offshore, behind the islands, 30 to 60 miles out, you can see we still have this west wind swell 3 to 5 feet, a little bit bigger. But these gusting winds, especially going into Sunday, Monday, let's keep an eye on those. Could get a little nasty out there, especially with that wind whipping up on Monday. So there you go. Let's look at Monday and Sunday. So somewhere in that time frame, things are going to switch around. So keep a close eye on the weather. That's all we got for this week, guys. Be safe. See you out there on the water. Cheers. If you like what you saw today, you can subscribe to our channel or follow us along on Instagram and Facebook. And always remember, share the stoke.